Welcome back to See It and Feel It with Dr. Brett.
Yes, man, and it's so funny when you watch a a 7-year-old girl winding a fish better than a grown man, and they listen. They they don't get in their own head. All these preconceived notions about life just flood their brain, and they can't seem to just sit back and just think about shit. And that's how I feel on the golf course. Yeah, honestly.
But
that's how I feel about it.
You spent almost no time meditating in your life.
But I think
right?
really the thing is if I compare it to fishing, I guess I grew up just fighting fish.
Right.
I didn't grow up trying to make a score.
Right.
I didn't grow up trying to put a number on a scorecard like a lot of people did. And I'll tell myself that it makes me feel better about myself. But it is, if you think about it, it is true. I from a sports psychology standpoint, I didn't condition myself enough to shooting low scores from a young age. I really get in my own head.
Right.
I think it's as physically capable as I am of shooting mid-60s every round.
Right.
I can't put myself there mentally because I just that feels so unnatural.
So there's this book that I often have people read called The Big Leap by Jay Hegland. I'm not a huge self-help book kind of guy, but there's this concept in this book, it's one of the better ones, around an upper limit issue. And so because I used to play this par 69 golf course in Westport, Connecticut, where I used to live, and I played it so many times that eventually I got to a place where I was very close to breaking 70, and I would blow up at 70. I blew up at 70, I don't know, probably 8 times before I actually broke 70. And the way I broke 70 is I literally spent a month not playing golf, literally, playing once a week, not practicing, whatever. But I sat there in meditative states, visualizing a 65 for a fucking month. That's all I did. Yeah. Then I went out there one day and I literally shot a 66, and that last putt lipped out for the 65.
Okay.
And then the second time, years later, when I shot a 66, I did it by meditating the entire back nine because I was so freaking nervous because I had another one of those rounds in me. Because I'm a once a week golfer, right? I'm not sitting there, I'm just a good athlete. I'm not sitting there playing 5 times a week or whatever it is that people shoot in the 60s.
Yeah,
so you have to kind of condition yourself.
Isn't that frustrating though?
Yeah.
Have you ever sat there and tried to practice hard?
Yeah, I have at times
and what happened?
Well,
because that's what I'm sitting
I got
there
really good at my short game. Because I remember.
I did my irons. I flush my irons all the time. I can't miss. And then I practice my short game because that's what you're supposed to do for a long time. And then you go out there and you savor your round and shoot a 70 and have 20 putts or something because you're getting up and down on every hole because you can't hit an iron when you normally hit it inside 10 feet every time.
So let's come back to this concept of the big leap and the upper limit issue, right? It's because what happens with people, unless they've over time, most people don't have permission psychologically and emotionally for very high levels of success. So we bring ourselves unconsciously back to a baseline.
Yeah.
And so your baseline in competition is 70 to 75, not 65 to 70. And so you are always bringing yourself back to a baseline.
I mean, you
have to bring yourself.
I would try to argue with you there, but
I'm going to give you. I'm trying to be greatest ball, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. I wish it was lower. You know what I'm saying? I wish my baseline was lower.
But what I'm saying is, you can train yourself over months and years to lower that baseline. It's like a set point for happiness. If you win a lottery, basically, a year later, your level of happiness is back to wherever it was prior to the 100 million. For a little while, you're freaking elated or whatever, and your level of happiness will go up, but then it'll really come back because you haven't done the fundamentals of changing who you are as a person, right?
Very well said. And I can kind of go on a tangent off here and relate to that this summer. In my fishing career, I caught an 800-pound blue marlin and won a bunch of money in the Mid-Atlantic tournament.
Wow, that's insane.
And obviously that, a lot of hard work and stuff goes into that. Yeah. And then, you win a bunch of money, you reach your, goal or whatever. Yeah. And, that shit goes away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
here I am right here. I'm like, come on, let me go. I want another opportunity at that. Yeah. And that was, it's the highs and lows, but you have to control that, right?
Well, when you say you have to control the highs and lows, it's a great question, right? it depends on what your goal is, right? On, you know, I mean, so some people love the highs and lows, right? That they sort of thrive off of that. Other people decide, you know what, I don't want to live that way anymore. And I want, maybe I'll have lesser highs, but I want more consistent happiness or well-being or success. And so they're going to start to train themselves.
It is what you make it.
But again, you're training your mind.
Right.
Because your mind is determining your actions, right?
Yeah.
So you're learning how to be more in the moment and realize what this thing is really about for you. Are you an experiencer of life? What it is that you're really up to?
I'm still trying to, and honestly, if you're asking me that, but I know that was hypothetical, we're on a podcast. Anyways, I don't know what I am.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. I think I'm an experiencer because I like experiences, and I take more value in experiences than anything.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably why I do what I do for a living. You know, is because I go out there and I really you never know what's going to happen. Sure, there's the boring stuff, the money side of things. You know, making sure the boat's ready to go.
Right.
You know, fixing shit.
Right.
But it's just about that opportunity, getting out there, traveling with the boat.
Right.
You never know what's going to happen. So I think I'm more of an experienced guy.
Yeah.
And that's why I like golf too, is because it's like you're really in play with the natural world.
It is so true.
I've
been explaining that to Jamal over here behind the camera.
Cool.
I've been talking to him about that.
That's cameraman. What's
up? But that's what I tell him. I'm like, literally,
rinks, courts, they're all the same. A golf course.
It's
always always different, man.
It's
and that's what it's all about. If you like the real, natural, it is, man.
Yeah.
How is this cylindrical object made by man, which also a cylindrical object is the shape of planets and stuff. So it's like a natural thing. How is it going to interact with the world around me?
Right.
And it's really cool. Yeah. Which way is the grain growing? Towards the sun? Is it away from the sun? Towards the water? You know, there's a lot of cool things.
I just sat, I met him through the happy hour scene here on Singer Island, maybe a couple weeks ago or whatever. I had no idea I was with Bagger Vance here.
Bagger Vance.
I had no clue he had this deep side. Man. I love the freaking game of golf here. I love the spiritual side of golf.
That's why I wish I was that's why I wish I was good at it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you are good at it. It's just you didn't get the mental game
get
training.
There, and it's just I'm there, and I'm struggling, dude. If I didn't love fishing and if I wasn't as successful as I was doing that, it's like one of those things. I watched the Brooks Koepka documentary.
Yeah.
And then his dad was talking about him, and he had no option. To him, he was going to be a professional golfer.
Yes, he absolutely was.
And his dad would tell him, if I had a son, which I hope I do one day, I'd tell him, you need to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
But, he didn't have a backup plan. He's like, all right, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? So that I think it
needs we actually interviewed a golfer that has, he's a really good instructor. And so that could be a backup plan. But we interviewed somebody yesterday here and, he has that obsessive focus that I think you need to be to make it to the PGA Tour. You need that singular focus. It's almost obsessive, and not everybody's wired that way, right? But if you're, but you probably need that to be top 100 in the world, right?
100%. Yeah, there's something special there, man.
Yeah, if you're almost too balanced, it would be hard to. If you love fishing and you love women and you love this, it's he is so focused on it, and golf is it. He's not giving up, he's the sheer determination and the willingness to do whatever it takes, the willingness to build a team, to spend the money. You talked about that.
You're talking about Tiger Woods right there, honestly.
But Tiger had a start at age 2 or 3.
He did.
But you started at what age? How old were you?
Like 13, 14 or so?
13 or 14. I was just explaining to Jamal here before you showed up that it's very rare. Brooks Koepka started at what, 8 or 9 or something like that. It's very rare to start beyond age 11, 12 and make it to the PGA Tour. It's extremely rare. It does happen.
I wish,
but
I remember growing up, I was like 11 years old, and I'm not knocking my dad here at all, but I remember we went out and I just wanted to play golf for some reason, honestly. Yeah. So like I went out and hit. I was like 11 years old, and I was just like flushing these clubs, dude. And the golf pro was like, hey, you should like really consider, you know, like making golf like his only sport. You know what I'm saying? But my dad was a baseball player, like I said, and you know I did all the shit. And I enjoyed thoroughly. I was a kid. I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. And it's so funny. Like I think about that moment often. Right. And it's like, you know, I wish
you almost need the singular focus.
And like you do in today's day and age, you know, it's like you know, Gary Player, you know, obviously, you know, all those guys back in the day, maybe I could have made it in the 30s or something. But like I'll tell myself that, but
bow ties or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it takes, man. But you know what I'm saying? Like you know, these guys are, you know, they're out there.
So I'm an identical twin. I don't think you know that about me. And my twin brother, we were so good.
Can I get another beer?
Yeah.
Can we start that over?
Yeah, he needs another beer as we're talking. Jamal will take care of that. So my twin brother and I, like, we were so good at tennis till like at age 9, 10, 11. Okay. That people wanted to kind of back us, and we wanted to play baseball. We wanted to play in baseball. Yeah. And so my twin brother for years was like, we were idiots. We had no guidance. No one, you know what I mean? We just kind of played baseball, a sport that we weren't big enough to go anywhere with. And I'm not sure we were big enough for tennis. But the point is, though, it's that same regret.
I know, man.
You know what I mean?
It's
that
crazy
you didn't
how big
focus on one thing, right? Yeah. I don't look at it that way because I've done, like, my life is more, I'm sort of more balanced or whatever. I like the psychology and coaching and all these different hybrid things that I do. But you know, but my twin definitely brings that up every few years. Like, cheers. Yeah, cheers. Okay, cool. What else you want to ask while you got me here, Jay? What are you curious about?
We're switching the roles here?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Man, I didn't even think about that.
You haven't thought about any of this, right? Because we just showed up. I haven't seen you. I met you once for 10 minutes.
I know.
We're just going.
Thanks to Amy Lee.
Amy Lee.
She's hot. What's up?
Awesome. And
so we're editing
Jay Hegland.
All right.
We're not probably going to edit that, but Jay Hegland, boat captain here, probably a really good one. We haven't done that yet. But anyway, so you got your beer. I would love to. I haven't fished since we were here.
Yeah, we'll talk about the psychology.
I got poles everywhere, but I mean, I'm fishing off the rocks here. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's like
you don't want to know the #1 principle to psychology of fishing?
Please.
You don't know unless you go.
You don't know unless you go. Maybe that's a good place to end. Thanks for watching See It and Feel It with me, Dr. Brett. If you enjoyed this video, remember to like, subscribe, or share it with a friend.